I think posting is better than perfectionism, right? Because first of all, we're all not perfect, and people are like we're craving more of the real, the raw, real life people.
Welcome to the Simplified Social Marketing Podcast. I'm Chelsea Gardner, and if you're ready to make marketing clear, manageable, and fun with practical steps and effective tools, you are in the right place, my friend. Together, we'll untangle the complexities of marketing your business and transform them into clear, actionable steps. Let's dive in.
Hello, hi friends. If you are watching this on YouTube, you are going to see my crazy wall yet again. And if you listened to last week's episode or watched it, y'all, I didn't change this time. Normally, when I batch create content, I maybe throw my hair up, I change my earrings, whatever the case is. And I just didn't do that. This is literally recorded right after last week's episode, back to back. And so with that being said, I don't want to talk about that because if you experience, and I'm not going through this right now, but I know the feeling all too well, with content burnout, and the feeling of needing to perfect before it goes out, right? Perfect before post. And y'all, that is just so not true. If I would not have told you that I am in the same dress, that I'm back to back recording this content, you probably never even would have noticed. I notice, you probably would not, right? It's the same thing with your audience. You know, when you batch create content and you're in the same top, or you got the same hairdo, or you're in the same glasses, right? Like I've got multiple colors of glasses, so sometimes I just swap out my glasses. And now you guys are gonna go look at my stuff and like, oh, I bet she did all this in the same day. But anyways, it's how you can easily avoid that content burnout. And don't be perfect, right? It is okay to not be perfect on social media. We are humans. First and foremost, we are humans before we are our business, right? I am a social media marketer, but first and foremost, I'm a human. I'm a human being, just like you listening or watching. And I make mistakes. Ramble over my words. I make up words all the time. And I get content burnout just like you do. So it's one of those things where don't expect perfectionism from yourself if you don't expect perfectionism from everybody else, right? I know, I mean, I at least would hope not, that you expect me to be perfect all of the time. I mean, most of the time. No, I'm kidding. But I know that you're not sitting there going, "Oh my goodness, Chelsea, I'm looking at your wall and it is a hot mess behind you." I know you're not doing that. I mean, you might be, but I know like it's not perfect and it's okay. It's gonna get fixed. It'll look perfect. I promise. But it's one of those things where it's like, I get the content burnout, and so there's ways to avoid that. So what are those ways, right? How can we avoid content burnout? First and foremost, if we don't even like creating content to begin with, right? Some of us are like, I dread content days. I have several clients that literally they like sweat, they get anxiety, they like just ruffle their feathers when it comes to having to create video content for their social media. And I get it. I get it. And I used to be this way. I used to think I needed to have perfect posts. Like that's what's gonna, move the needle. That is what is going to have you guys put your trust in me. If I show you the perfectionism that I can do, then, oh my goodness, like she's who I want to work with. No, I'm human too. And so, to avoid content burnout, one of the things that I do, I batch record content. So I'll record back-to-back videos, back-to-back podcasts, in the same sitting. And my podcasts are a little different because most of the time you're listening to this versus seeing me on YouTube. So I'm fine with that content being literally back-to-back weeks. But most of the time when I batch create content for like reels and things like that, I'll space out that video content. So it's literally not the same exact outfit in every post. However, I have scrolled through multiple large accounts, and they have the same outfit in like 5 of their posts back to back. It is okay because not everyone is seeing your posts, every post. Actually, it's a pretty minuscule amount of your followers actually see your post every single time. So it's okay. It's okay. I think posting is better than perfectionism, right? Because first of all, we're all not perfect, and people are like we're craving more of the real, the raw, real life people, right? Actually, me and my girlfriend, we just this past week I went over with my son. She just had her little baby boy. And so my son and I went over to her house and we had Hooters and just kind of chit chatted for hours while the baby's hers is little itty bitty, so slept a lot. And Aiden just kind of stared at the ceiling fan and giggled. And so we actually were talking about this and how when you see on Instagram or on social media and you see this like perfect home and this perfect little like yard and this perfect, office space and all of the things, like it is not real. 90% of the time, it is not real. A mom of, 4 and has the perfect house and no toys laying around and is doing everything herself probably is not a reality, right? Probably is not true. She probably has a nanny or friends or family to help or a cleaner or something, right? And the likelihood of someone doing everything is so like 0.001%, right? You just might not see that. I get all the time, like, Chelsea, how do you juggle your business and having a special needs kid that I'm a part of all of his therapies? I'm a part of all of his doctor appointments. I am there. I have help. I have help, y'all. I have my parents are close. My mother-in-law is close. My husband's very hands-on. My mom is here every week. Up until recently, we had a nanny 4 days a week that watched Aiden while I worked, y'all. And my parents come, they'll help me clean. My dad, like I said, he's finishing up this wall with the wood boards because that is not something I can do. I barely got this painted in time. So I have help. You might not see it. You might not see my Instagram and see that I, have help. But I do. And most people do. That just might not be what you see. And so it starts to creep into your brain, right? Like, well, I should be able to do all of that. And there's no reason why I can't run a successful 6-figure business and have 3 kids and a clean home and no toys laying around and I'm able to cook dinner every night and, all of the things. Why can't I do that? This person's doing it. No, they're not. No, they're not. And so that can also create content burnout because you have this envision of perfect content that is needing to get you followers, that is needing to get you those people, right? That business. And that's just not true. So many people now are craving the real and the raw. And you might start seeing that shift, or you may have already. I've seen it in quite a lot of the content creators and influencers that I follow. Is a lot more of the quote unquote behind the scenes, or if you've ever seen Instagram versus reality, where they take a beautiful picture of their living room from behind their couch, right? And it's stunning. But then the reality is they take a picture from the other side of the couch and everything is just thrown onto the couch that isn't technically lives on the floor in that room, or a beautiful bedroom, right? When they're doing their try-ons and their fashionista things and all of that. And then they show you the other side of the bed, or they show you the pile of clothes on the other side of the camera that they just keep tossing. Okay. So that is real life. And that is what people crave. That people need that. It's more like, oh, whew, like, right? Like it's more of that thing where it's like, okay, they're a real human. They're not this like superwoman. Like, yes, I think moms and moms that run businesses and moms that work outside the home, stay-at-home moms, dads, working dad. I think everyone is a superhero in their own way. But I want you to also recognize that you don't have to do it all. I don't even know. I feel like I just went off a tangent that has nothing to do with content for now. But I'm so passionate about that because I have gotten into that total rut where it's like, man, why can I not run a successful business, stay home with my son, have the house perfectly clean all of the time, have dinner ready every night, which I do make dinner every night, by the way. It's not perfect. It's like spaghetti, tacos, whatever, but I do make dinner every night. Why, and like be able to do all of the things. Why can't I do that on my own? Well, it's impossible. It is absolutely impossible to do all of that. And so when we are, let me dial back to my content creation. So when we are experiencing either content burnout or just wanting to be consistent with our content, a very easy way to do that is to batch create when you have the time. So right now, my son is sleeping. It is Sunday afternoon, actually, right before football. My husband will take him to watch the Patriots play, and I'll have the rest of the afternoon to get stuff done. And so it's like, now is the time where I'm going to batch create some of my content. I'm going to sit down. I'm knocking out 2 podcast episodes so I can stay, my nose is like itchy. Sorry if you're watching this on YouTube. Someone must be talking about me. Maybe my son's dreaming about me in his dreams. Anyways, I am going to sit down and I'm going to batch my podcast episodes like I'm doing right now. I am going to probably do a couple of Instagram videos. I am probably going to put together a couple of posts for the next week or two because I've got a lot going on this upcoming week. And so, I mean, when you hear this, it'll be last week, but I've got a lot coming up this week. And so I don't have the time to do a video content. I'm actually not even going to be in a position to be on camera. So it's one of those things where it's like, I need to batch when I can. And so that's what you need to do. When you are experiencing content burnout, then by batching content ahead of time, maybe, just maybe you'll have stuff ready when you're like, I can't do it today. I'm burnt out, but I've got 5 other videos waiting to be posted that I created 2 weeks ago that are just chilling, waiting for me to like hit submit, right? Because that is how we can really get to the point of, all right, my stuff is running on autopilot, or I'm using stuff in my business that will streamline my processes, ChatGPT, Canva, whatever the case is, scheduling tools, Metricool, Meta Business Suite, whatever the case is. So I've got all this stuff ready to go when I experience content burnout. That's one of my biggest suggestions is to batch create stuff when you are feeling in the mood, when you have the time, when you're like, oh, I've got something to say. It doesn't mean that it has to get posted right now. Right? It doesn't mean that it needs to go out on social media right this instant, or that it needs to be a video, like as long as it's not, obviously if you're talking about like rates and like, oh, rates are down or whatever the case is, then that might be something more of an immediate posting need, right? Because tomorrow might not be the case. But if it's something more like, oh, hey, if you're a first-time home buyer, here's the steps that you need in order to get pre-approved. That's something that's not changing at least probably, within the next couple of weeks. So it's something that you can just have that you've created. So when you are experiencing content burnout or not enough time, or I just can't do it this week, you have some of that stuff backed up, ready to just push right out. So you can stay consistent and not experience that burnout. That is what I am truly working on in my business. I do a lot of content for my clients, and that is like my passion. So when it comes to my own content, it's one of those things where it's like I was actually creating a sales funnel the other day, and I popped on a call with a copywriting expert, and like I had her look over all of my stuff, and she just was like, "This is fantastic. It's like you do it for work or something." And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, what's your question?" I'm like, is it good? And it's so funny because she's like, it's fantastic. Like that's what you do. And I'm like, I know, but like when it comes to your own stuff, I get it. Like when it comes to like, I could knock out stuff for my clients all day long and not question it. And I'm like, this looks great. This sounds great, whatever. But when it comes to my own stuff, man, like I will hesitate to post. I will hesitate to do a video. I will want perfectionism. I'll like do anything to not get something out into the world. And I have recently just started to try and be more like, I'm just going to post it. I'm just going to post it and away it goes. And I'm just going to get up here and I'm going to do I had no notes for my last podcast episode. I have no notes for this episode. Just let me know how you like it. I'm just kind of winging what's on my heart. And so, reevaluating your business, which was last week, that was on my heart. And then content burnout is really on my heart as well right now. So just kind of chit-chatting about it. And I would love to know if like you like this style of podcast episode versus some of my other ones that I've done in the past. Because the other ones I have more notes and I have a little bit more like of a strategy. I have a little bit more of a content layout on what I want to talk about, right? Whereas this one's just kind of, I feel like a little bit more of my ADHD pulls out and I just kind of ramble. So I'd love to know. Don't be afraid to tell me your feedback. If you're listening to this or watching this, shoot me a DM over on Instagram. That's where I hang out at the Chelsea Gardner. I would love to know your feedback. So yeah. So anyways, that's what I do for content burnout. I try to get ahead of it. I've recently just been like, I'm just going to post. I actually also have an assistant that helps me who just posts, right? So a lot of times too, like that's how my clients are, right? I'm the person posting. So I'm like, you just create the video and upload the video into your Google Drive. Don't even look at it. Like I'll do the rest and it will get published. Whereas if they do it, it will never get published because it's just going to sit there and they're going to analyze it or they're going to question it or whatever the case may be. And it's like, no, I don't want you to do that. I want it to be postable. I want to just get it out there into the world, right? Like you spent time on this, let's get it going. So that's it. That's what I've got for you today. So again, I am right now also opening doors to, I always had the doors open to my social hub. This is a weekly email that you will get delivered to your inbox that has a caption, a video script, a editable graphic inside of Canva. Every week that you'll be getting, you can use it for a social post. You can use it for a Facebook ad, y'all. That means you're getting like 4 graphics, 4 captions, 4 video scripts every single month, delivered weekly. If you join right now, if you join before the end of September, we are in the year 2024. If you join before the end of September, which by the time this podcast episode rolls out, you're going to have like 4 days. So get joined. Anyways, get in on it because I am also going to be launching every week a module to my Canva course. I'm so excited. This course I'm actually not launching to the public until 2025, and it will be a $497 course. And you're going to get it for $47 a month plus the email. So you're basically getting this free because my social hub is $47 a month. So you will get access to my Canva course. I'm going to be releasing a module a week for the next 12 weeks starting October 1st. So you're going to get a Canva module every week from October through the end of the year. And I'm so excited about it. So go join. Go DM me if you need the link, or go to my website, chelseagardner.com/resources, and the social hub will be there for joining. Until next time, y'all, have a wonderful day. I'll see you later.
Thanks for tuning into today's episode of the Simplified Social Marketing Podcast. Make sure to follow me on any of your favorite social platforms at the Chelsea Gardner, and don't forget to hit subscribe for your weekly dose of marketing magic. Until next time, my friend, remember to keep your marketing simple and effective.